What is going on? What's going on, everybody? This is Tyler and I'm back with a brand new video, and today I'm going to be taking you guys through the process I took in creating my very first original character. I feel like every big artist, every good artist has their own character, at least stylized artists. And I'm no writer, but I had a blast coming up with this character and I wanted to take you guys along with me in all of the steps that I took to create this character. My character's name is Luna. She doesn't have a last name yet though. If you guys have any ideas for a last name for her, leave them in the comments below, please. I could use the assistance. For this video, I'm going to be taking you guys through my entire process that I went through. So let's get right into it, guys. First thing I wanted to show you guys is this old Instagram post that I did a while ago. This piece, basically I just took a reference photo and decided I'm going to turn this into like some sort of vampire thing. I don't know. But I saw this again on my Instagram feed and it got me thinking. Many weeks ago, it got me thinking about maybe that could be my original character. And I started looking at it more and I really liked how I did the eyes and other things in this piece, and I was like, how can I form a story around this character? When I had listened to people talk about creating OCs, I always wondered like how they kind of got their inspiration, and a lot of people said that they drew from themselves, and since I'm not a writer, I thought that was the perfect thing to do. So when coming up with Luna's personality, I started going for things that I love, metal music and that kind of entire world going on with that, horror movies, things of that nature. I really wanted to define this character that I had created. So I started with all those things that I like and those things that I am comfortable with, and then I started kind of branching off. I was like, well, maybe I want her to be some sort of warrior that fights these other vampires like herself. My character got bit by a vampire when she was a younger child, and a mentor came in, gave her this ring that has magical powers that basically grants her all of her abilities that she would normally have as a vampire, except for the look of the character. It gives her a normal appearance and lessens the anger and the thirst that you get when you're a vampire. Now, if that sounds familiar, yes, I obviously took inspiration from Blade, except for mine, if the ring is removed, she will turn into a total demon-looking vampire, which is what I wanted my vampires to look. When it comes to her design, like I said, I took a lot of inspirations from a lot of different things, and I wanted to kind of throw up some of the references and inspirations that I took for this sort of punk rock metal kind of look. Character who loves horror movies, character who's very into that, and a warrior as well. Right here we've got Raven from Teen Titans. Originally I was actually going to use purple eyes and purple hair for my character, but I switched it up a little bit for a couple different reasons, as I'll get into later. The Hex Girls. Anybody who grew up when I did this and like Scooby-Doo, the Hex Girls, you know exactly who they are. That was one of my inspirations there. Sam from Danny Phantom. I love the style there and a lot of the colors and just like the overall aesthetic going on with that character. And for the more warrior parts, I really took a lot of inspiration from Elektra. More specifically, her modern takes that's more black outfit with a little bit of red accents. That's really, I thought, was perfect for my character, and I really wanted to take some inspiration from that. My next step for creating this character was coming up with the design after I'd already gotten all of my notes down on what I wanted her world to be, her personality. Now I had to create the actual look of the character. So what I have here is I have 3 base bodies. I just kind of drew them really quick. It's not, you know, it's like a mannequin basically. So I just kind of threw really quickly on clothes onto them and kind of quickly did this to see what I thought looked good, what I thought didn't, and kind of how I was going to go about getting this character design started. So the first one that I did was this one all the way on the left, and I added this. This is what I thought. Now, there's a lot going on here. Okay, so I was taking inspiration from a lot of different things, right? Metal, I was taking inspiration from all those characters that I mentioned earlier, but some of this design I actually thought, oh, magic from Marvel would be a cool thing. I could have this really cool arm right here. That could be cool. Some armor there, some straps to hold the sword. You might notice this necklace, and originally I was gonna do the magical thing keeping her into a normal body on her necklace, but I decided to go with something a lot more subtle, and I thought that would make more sense for the character as well. I also decided to remove this sword, as you'll see later. She does use a sword, but I decided to remove the sword sheath from her back. I liked this this sort of cargo pant look too, so that was something I kind of thought about keeping. But then the next one that I drew was this one, and I was like, oh, this would go way more into the entire, you know, punk rocker metal aesthetic. You know, so with a band tee, some skinny jeans, some Converse on the shoe. But I just didn't like how it didn't have enough warrior to me. You know, I wanted a nice blend of the two, and really all this looked like was she was about to go to a music festival, and I wasn't really feeling that much. And then number 3 here, I did kind of like it. I kind of like the big red jacket as well, but as I started thinking about this more, I was like, I I think she's a little bit too close to Claire Redfield. So I immediately was like, no. And then at the time I was still working with this necklace, and I just didn't feel like the purple and red went well together. And this is where I basically axed the purple altogether. Eventually, after kind of going through all of these different designs, I had to kind of pick one that I liked. And I took elements from a couple different ones, and I changed a few things as well. And this is what I ended up with. This one on the left here. I know this is like, whoa, what is that? So I ended up adding red dye to her hair into the little ends, because I thought that that would look a lot more metal. So I wanted to add some of that. I added a few more necklaces. Like I said, got rid of the amulet because I thought adding on the ring here would be much more subtle and it would be a lot more interesting. So if she was wearing multiple rings, but one of them was a glowing red that was keeping her in her normal form. Some of these arms are where I took inspiration from Elektra, as well as this top. I decided to go with a turtleneck, tank top, crop top look. I thought that would be kind of fun. I wanted to keep that tactical look from my original with those boots, but instead of big cargo pants, I kind of went with these big, almost sweatpants. They're going to be white, and I know that that is not the most subtle thing for a character that works at night, probably, but I liked the contrast. I didn't want so much black on the silhouette. I wanted to add a little bit of a separation, so I went with white pants. I thought that would be a cool separation there. In all, this is the character design that I went with. Now, unfortunately, I didn't actually do a full body piece. Unfortunately, I didn't do a full body piece yet, but you will see one of those coming soon. I'm sorry, I just did not have enough time to do it, but you'll see one of those coming soon. After I had locked down the design, I wanted to get some idea of what her face would look like, so I did an expression sheet. Basically, this is just a sheet with a bunch of different heads, all of the same character doing a variety of different expressions. For this, I decided to also show a little bit of the vampire head as well, and as you can see right here, I've gone through a couple of them. I wanted all the expressions to be expressions that I felt she might do. After I worked really hard on this expression sheet, I kind of just decided to figure out some of the colors for the heads as well, so this sheet has the colors that I knew I wanted to go with. I changed her eyes to blue also for the nice complementary color contrast of the red in her hair and the other red in the outfit, as you'll see. So all of this, after I had all of this, I knew the design of the character. I decided to do a fully rendered final headshot piece, and this piece took me a long time. I started out doing this like full half kind of body piece with a city in the background, and I'm showing the sketch right now, and I just didn't like it. I got a little bit far and I just didn't feel like it fit the vibe of what I was going for. So I decided to switch up and just do a headshot. I thought that this would be good. I could really focus in on some of the details, and then later on I could do another piece showing off her entire outfit and design in a better light. So I have the sketch right here I came up with. I used one of the expressions that I'd use in the expression sheet. I thought it was perfect, so I wanted to use it, and I wanted to utilize it in another way, and I am so happy with the results. So I did this in a number of ways, and I wanted to make this a kind of a cool piece to really show off the character. So one of them is here. This is her normal, like how she looks normally without anything. I did add a headband, which you didn't see earlier. While I was doing this final piece, I thought a headband could be really cool, and I was like, oh, it would add to the warrior, add to the metal vibe of it all, and I like the separation there from the hair to the forehead. I liked it, so I added it. Okay. Anyway, I wanted to do some rain. I love the backlight and how that came out, the backlighting of the red. I really liked how that came out. But then I was like, okay, I want to make sure I show all forms of this character, right? So I decided to switch up a little bit, and boom, here's the demon vampire version of this piece with what she looks like as a vampire. So you guys probably noticed that her skin is a little bit blue. I didn't want it to be fully blue. I wanted it to be looking like she was extremely pale, almost paper white, with a little pigment of blue in her skin for this vampire. And I wanted the eyes to look very similar to Gambit's eyes. I kind of took a lot of inspiration from that, and I felt like that looked really evil, and I wanted that to be how my vampires looked in my world that I was creating. That's how I wanted it to look, and that's how she looks, and I'm very happy with that as well. And so to combine those two as well, I decided to do a third version of this piece like this that is split in half, and that is all of the finished final pieces. I thought this would look cool so you could see both sides at the same time, as well as separately, and I thought that might look cool. And that is my character completed, and I really had a fun time creating this, and I can't wait to do my second OC, but you guys will have to stay tuned for that. I do have ideas for that as well. This piece was so fun and I was so excited to do it, and I love how it came out. There's so many parts of this character that are just ripped straight from my own personality and my own likes and dislikes, and I just really wanted to kind of evolve that into a more intense sort of world, just a dark, gritty world with a warrior, and I'm very, very happy with how it came out, and I love how this piece came out. It's one of my favorites to this day that I've done. I know I say that all the time, but I do mean it this time. So I hope you guys enjoyed the process. I know I sped through things really quickly, but I didn't want this video to be too long. But if you guys do have comments and want me to go more in depth, when I do my next OC, I'll try to address those and be more in depth if I can about my process here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope it was informative to you. I know it wasn't any live drawing, but I hope you guys liked it. I thought it would be fun to kind of go through this process and see my head space and what I was thinking when I went through these things. But thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys liked the video, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks again. See you guys later. Peace.